So I know you've provided care for kids from very, very young ages
Baby
to
to 18, 19 years old.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have an age range that you prefer, and how did you figure that out? Because I know people will inquire about becoming foster parents, and they'll have an age group in mind, and then they'll be quite surprised, like you said before, when they get that child in their home and they really realize that they would prefer something completely different. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So when I first started, I lived in an apartment. We had a 3-bedroom apartment. My son had a room with a bunk bed. My daughter had a room with a bunk bed. And so that was one of the big conversations I had with the kids is, what are you comfortable with? And not only that, but thinking about like what's fair to another child coming into our home. My daughter was 6. I wasn't going to put a 17-year-old girl in the top bunk in her room. Who wants, what 17-year-old wants to share a room with a 6-year-old? But they had kind of decided that they wanted kids their age. So my son said, nobody over 10. And I said, nobody younger than kindergarten, because I didn't want to have to deal with daycare. My kids had just gotten to that point where I wasn't using full-time daycare anymore and things like that. So as my kids got older, I started taking kids within their age group for the most part is what I tried to do. And I really found that as much as in the beginning I said no teenagers, that's where I'm at. I love to take the teenagers in. And I don't know, like their behaviors are so much bigger for the most part, but you can also talk to them on a whole different level. So, I mean, I don't know why. I can't explain the difference, but that's the population that I connect with the best. And I would rather, I said, I'd rather have 10 teenage boys in my house than a 7-year-old girl. That's just,
That's where your skill set is.
that's
Those
where I'm at.
teenagers. Yep.
Yes. And,
And
I mean, the thing is if a teenager takes off out the door and leaves, it's like, yeah, they'll blow off steam and come back. If a 7-year-old takes off out the door and leaves, that's a whole different thing, because now you're looking at level of supervision and safety and, things like that. And so, and like I said, a teenager, they're closer to that point of adulthood where you can sit down and you can relate what you're doing today to how that's going to impact their future. And a 7 or 8 or 9-year-old, you can't say, well, you're going to need these skills when you go look for a job or when you live on your own or something like that. So, so I think that's why I like that age group better.
Yeah. Well, and I think, our foster parents that provide care for those teenagers, like what an important time in those kids' lives to have somebody to teach them some of those things. Like this is the skill set that you need out in the world when you hit adulthood.
Right.
That's so important.
Yeah.
And I think, looking at the kids that we have waiting for path foster homes right now, majority of them are in that older age range, the kids that do need some more of that coaching and help, so that when they do turn 18, whether they go back home or not, they do have some of those basic skills to be successful.